There is no any movement against the body movement, the natural body movement. Is it clear? Now, another example on the right side. What do you think? Why the automotive company made this personnel with this condition, front and back? Why don't they try to make one in the right side and two in the left side? So we will move it right and left. Which one will be easier? Up, front and back, or right and left?
Right and left.
Really? So imagine that you drive a car, and then you will move with your left hands. You will move the personnel without seeing. Which one will be easier for you?
Front and back.
Front and back.
Nah, this is front and back. Yeah? So it will be easier. You need extra effort if it is left and right. Because why? Because you against the natural body movement. Gerakan tangan kita tuh kan naturalnya bukan ke kiri kanan. Kalau kalian berjalan, gerakan tangan kalian ke kiri kanan atau ke depan belakang?
Only Andy Prima, ma'am. Kiri kanan.
So let's see Prima ya.
Sorry, ma'am. Salah sambung tadi. Clear. It's okay, Prim.
Okay, like that. You can find another example, but it is the principles. Now, another principles is if you want to design the job, you have to design it that the person can start the job for the both hands. Yeah, they can start the job for both hands at the same time and stop at the same times. Yeah. For the same activities, kerjaannya sama kiri kanan. If it is different, mungkin bisa berbeda berhentinya. We talk about assembly process, yeah, and it is quite difficult, yeah. If one hands will do the job and the other hands stopping to do the job, yeah, pasti dia idle. If another hands will do something and if the left do something and the right one stop or finish, it will be idle. So we will avoid the idle conditions of the hands, because the idle conditions of one hands, if it is not efficient. So why I said that, why do you keep the left hands to hold something? It is not efficient. It should be movable for both. So just keep your part into a jig, we call jig, a fixture to hold this one, and then both of your hands can do, it can be active, and the job will be finished faster. So it is the principles of motion for both of the hands. Actually, if you want to know which one will be the best movement, you can feel it. If you feel that it's produced, you try to do these activities, but it's not only for one time or two times. Yeah, keep it for 5 minutes. You can feel which one will make you get fatigued quickly. Yeah, so this one is not good. If you get fatigued more than the other one, it means the second one is better than. So it is to move the hands symmetrically and simultaneously, and from the centers of the body. When you do these activities, yeah, if you want to steer something and you handle to pan, yeah, lagi masak nih, you handle to pan. Which one will be the best movement for you? Yang pertama, same hand orientations. Mana sih nggak kelihatan? Okay, same orientations is about dari tengah-tengah and then move into the outside. Try it, and you try to steer it left, right, and steer it, but for the same direction. Dua-duanya ke kanan and then right. So which one will be easier for you? Satunya berlawanan. yang satu ke kanan, yang satu ke kanan, satu ke kiri, right? Like that. Could you do it? Try to move your hands. Yeah, still something. So like me. So please try to do it like this. Ya, tapi pakai tangan loh. Ini saya pakai jari nunjukin doang. Kalau pakai tangan. So like this, from inside into outside. So both of hands will do it like this. Ya, for several minutes. Or ke dalam dua-duanya. Keluar sama ke dalam capean mana?
Ke dalam, mem.
Nah, berarti yang terbaik yang keluar dua-duanya. And then, like now we compare it. Keluar dua-duanya, and then you will steer it into the right side both. Ayo, coba.
Kangen.
Emang saya model. Come on.
Mem, modelnya Mbak Ibra.
Come on, ya. Going outside both and into the right side. Mana yang lebih capek? 5 kali.
Malah joget Bandung, mem.
Which one?
Ke dalam, mem.
Banyu senyum. Yang mana yang paling capek? Ke dalam udah selesai. Keluar dua-duanya atau ke kanan dua-duanya? Jai.
Ke kanan dua-duanya.
Which one? Tuh. So which one?
Ke kanan dua-duanya, mem.
Kanan dua-duanya lebih
Karena
capek.
dia lebih capek, mem.
Ke kanan dua-duanya lebih capek, right? Nah, sekarang beda nih, yang satu keluar, yang satu ke dalam. Nah, kebalik ini, like this. The opposite movement. Capean mana? Ke dalam satu, keluar satu, dengan yang keluar dua-duanya.
Ke dalam satu, keluar satu, mem.
Ya,
Ke dalam satu.
sebenarnya kalian kalau lihat judulnya, move the hands symmetrically and simultaneously. Symmetrically itu ya dari dalam keluar, itu symmetrical namanya, and it will be easier. Yeah, so it is a principle that you have to follow. It says that and from the center of our body. Jadi dari tengah keluar. Okay. Nah, it is used if you want to assign somebody, you have to follow this natural rhythms of the body, because of why? The natural rhythms of the body will follow the sun. Actually, our body mechanism or metabolism will be controlled by sun. It says like this. If you try to find out from the internet or the Google, it says that circadian rhythms will control our body rhythms. Ya, jadi sebenarnya tubuh kita tuh nggak bisa against the perputarannya matahari. Ya, but how about the shifting in the company? So shifting against this system, right? So we have to learn about this one. At least we can minimize the impact. Yeah, if you have to do the shifting, so you can minimize the impact. How to minimize it? So I will talk about that one in the shifting. Nanti ada topiknya sendiri. But right now you have to understand about this one first. So starting from the 12 a.m. in the midnight. Oh, jangan deh. Dari kita bekerja aja lah 7:30, right? 7:30, it says that melatonin secretion stop. Yeah. What is the melatonin secretion? Yeah, we wait until the next explanations. So, starting from the 7:30, we will the alertness of our body will be increased. Yeah, and it will be at the highest conditions at 10 a.m. What do you think the highest alertness? It means at the time we will be more what? We will be more
Mau fokus, mem.
yes. And if we do calculation, we will be more accurate, right? Jadi pekerjaan-pekerjaan yang akurat, it's better if you do it at the time, ya. Increase until at 10, maybe after 10, it will be decrease gradually, ya. So why we take a rest at the 12 o'clock, right? And then after that, your coordination's capability will be increased until 2:30 p.m. And then the coordination's ability will be decreased, yeah, and it's changing with the fastest reaction time. So it's about your muscles, right? Fastest reaction time. So the pertama coordinations and it will be the actions. Yeah. The fastest reaction time will be in the 3:30 p.m. And it's will be the greatest cardiovascular efficiency and the muscle strength will be achieved at the 5 p.m. right? So why before that time until that this time it's better for you to do the practice or go into the gym because of the greatest cardiovascular efficiency and muscle strength at that time. Yeah. And until the 6 o'clock. And the highest blood pressure will be achieved at the 6.630. So if the blood pressure increase, so we have to stop our activities. Jadi olahraga sudah berhenti di jam 6. Ya, and it should be stopped at the 8:30 itu udah harus berhenti because kalau enggak our blood pressure will be highest lagi. It's not good for the health. And it is the highest temperature will be achieved at 7 p.m. Yeah. So if the temperature is high, you have to take rest. Kalian harus berhenti beraktivitas dulu to keep it lower untuk dia turun lagi dengan baik. So you have to take a rest at 9 p.m. Nah, bagusnya. Why? Because at the time the melatonin secretion will be started. What is the melatonin? Melatonin dihasilkan tubuh untuk diserap dan digunakan menetralkan racun. Because of what is the melatonin? Melatonin is the hormone, yeah. It's produced by the pineal gland in your brain. It's an antioxidant, yeah. It is antioxidant. It's protect against oxidant damage and can even prevent cancer. So if you try to take a sleep lately, you will break these systems. Yeah, the melatonin will still produce, but it will be not in the optimum conditions. Yeah, and it's start from the 9 p.m. until the 7:30. The melatonin will be produced. Yeah, but again, if it is started, it will be in the highest in the 2 a.m. and we get the deepest sleep at the time. Yeah, so the best time to get the sleep is from 9 to 2 p.m. Yeah, if you want to do the homework, you can get up after 2 or 3 or in the 4 a.m. The 4 a.m. not p.m. Yeah, 2 a.m. and in the 4 a.m. Why? Because our body in the lowest temperature at that 4 a.m. So it's better for us to do the light activities or light movement to increase the temperature. Why we have to increase the temperature? Because if you do some movement and then you will absorb more oxygen. You know, from the 2 into the 4 p.m., the numbers of oxygen in the air in the highest level. Yeah. So doing the light activities is good at that time. Yeah. Especially in the around the 4 p.m. 4 a.m. So like that. So after you understand about the circadian, you know that against this one, for the workers, we will give impact into their health for a long time. Yeah. Get the shifting. But company, they have no choices because the target of the customer should be fulfilled because they have the limited money to pay for the workers. So why they use the shifting and so on lah, yeah. So you can use it. How to minimize the impact of the shifting activities if you understand about this. If you are a workers, maybe, I hope that as after you graduate from the university, you will not to be operator, right? But sometimes for the manager in the production area, they still do the shifting, but it's not as many as operator, yeah. So you can do something to minimize the impact into your workers or into your body. Is it clear until these slides?
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. Oh, this one is use continuous curve of motion. It is quite similar with the ballistic movement. So if you want to combine several movements, so it should the continuous of movement is one of the movement is not against the natural body movement. Yeah. So it has two picture here. Yeah. You can compare taking something from in front of us is easier than taking something from the higher one. So don't try to imagine these activities will be done for one times only. Yeah, we talk about the manufacturing and operator. They will do their activities for many times, maybe hundreds for 1 hour. Yeah. So why we have to minimize that difficulties in doing their job? If you think that taking, because of the picture, like the ladies, the very stylish ladies taking something is okay lah for one time taking from the highest, right? But if we talk about the operator doing these activities, for example, its job is assemble the part, and the product consists of 50 parts. And in assembling this part, there are 30 parts to be placed in the higher level, and this operator should take it for 5 times. So it is not good, I think. So it's better if we do a layout and put it in the proper positions. Yeah. So this continuous curve, like the second example is, we assume that the part will be put it, and the part is a small part. Yeah, there are 50 parts, and this person will take it for 50 times. Could you imagine if, like this one, put the part in the high high bottle or high place, and it should take it like this one for 50 times. So instead of we try to make it the place and it is bigger, yeah. So it's easy to take it, yeah. So it is try to consider these activities, because this job will be done for many times. Yeah, maybe if we take a look for the one times is okay, but you have to consider the job will be done by our operator for many times and for longer many times. You know that there is operator, there are some operator in the company, they do their job for 30 years, for 20 years. So could you imagine the impact into the health if we don't try to improve these conditions? Okay, use the lowest practical classification. So it is like before, yeah. Use the lowest one and then increase it, and or from the highest one decrease into the lowest level of the muscles using. So work with both hands and feet simultaneously. If you can assign the job for hand and feet at the same time, just assign it, but please considerations of the focus and the comfortable conditions for the workers. Yeah. Eye fixations. Keep the eye fixation in the 30, 15 upper and 15 lower. It is the most comfortable conditions. Yeah. If you take a look into this picture, it is very extreme. Yeah. The baby try to have the extreme posture. It's not good actually. Tapi nggak tahu baby punya rasa betul nggak, saya nggak tahu. I don't know. And this is not good too. And this one is good, I think. And it is not good too. Maybe the angle will be bigger than 15 upper and 15 lower, and this one is quite better than compared to this one. Yeah, so like that. But if it is for several times, it's okay. But the workers will do it. Yeah, the workers have to control the display for 8 hours. Dia harus mengamati display itu. How much? So there is a job in the manufacturing. These workers, the job is only to control many display because it is a control room. They try to observe all of the machine through that display. Yeah. So could you imagine if the positions of the display is not good? So it will get the neck of the workers will be fatigued. Yeah, and the workers will have a serious problem with the neck. Okay, it finished for the manual word design. Any questions? Hello? Do you have a questions now?
Not yet, ma'am.
Not yet.
Okay, if you have no questions, I'm happy. I assume that all of you catch my point. Padahal sebenarnya dari mata kalian saya tahu ada yang nggak ngerti juga nih, yang ngomong apa sih dari tadi nih. You know, from your eyes you can see many kinds of. Some of your eyes tell me that I don't catch your information. Some of the eyes said that I'm very sleepy. Some of the eyes tell me another information. But it's okay. If you don't understand all of the explanation today, so please read the slides and read the book. Yeah. So I think you can find the ebook if you don't want to buy it. Yeah. From the previous class for the product design and development, I'm surprised because I can't find the book from the Tokopedia. The price is only 100,000. Nah, itu sama aja sama buku-buku bajakan sebenarnya. 90,000 from Bandung, ya. The copy of the legal book, ya, 90 juga. So if you buy from the Tokopedia, you get 109,000 rupiahs. So please find the book. Next week, I want to see that you show me, ma'am, I have the ebook, or ma'am, I got the book from something. You have to bring a book because I will always refer to the book. Because when we do the time study, it will be difficult for you if you have no any books. Yeah. Okay, Fatima, please, it's your turn to explain about the assignment.
Wait. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the second assignment, your assignment 2. It is about the operation process chart and flow process chart. Just a bit of review, the OPC is depicted the sequence of operation, inspection, time allowance, and material use in a manufacturing process from raw material until the finished product. While for the flow process chart, it is recording the operation, inspection, transportation, delay, and storage encountered by an item. So basically, the flow process chart is the more detailed chart of the OPC. This is an example of OPC. The operation symbolized by circle here. As for the inspection, symbolized by the square. Storage, symbolized by an upside down triangle. And here, and each of operation and inspection have an identifying code. So inside the circle or inside the square, usually they will have the number. Let's say if it's an operation, O1, O2 until the end, and if it's inspection, it would be I1, I2 until the end of the inspection. And what if, let's say, the one on combination operation, like the inspection and also operation? How about the numbering? The numbering then would be two identifying code. Let's say if it's the operation number 5 and inspection also number 2, then the inside of the circle and inside of the rectangular would be two number, the O5 and the inspection 2. And then you need to write down the name of the operation at the right side of each symbol. Okay, yeah, this is the more detailed example. So this is by the one that I mentioned about. The name of the operation written down here at the right side of its symbol, the name of the operation, and then the time and scrap is written at the left side of each symbol. So this is mean 10 seconds, this is 3 minutes, and then this is measuring. The scrap is 0%, and let's say for cutting, the scrap is 0.01%. So on the right side, and other than you mention about the process, you also put the name of the tools that you use. This is for the OPC. And probably can you see the okay, wait, here. Yeah, this one. The small horizontal line that goes into the operation. It is symbolizing that you use a supporting material to connect or to assembly the two parts. So for example, on here, let's say this is item 3 and this is item 4. To connect item 3 and 4, you need something. Let's say you use a glue, then you wrote down the glue here, and then it become another part. On making the OPC, don't forget to put the head of the table, which contain the name of the object, and then who is the one making the OPC, the date, and also is it a plan for the OPC after the pengamatan, or is it the real one? And also, please mention about the summary of all the operation happening in the OPC. So let's say you calculate the total time for the operation, the total time for the inspection, the total time for both of the operation. Here's an example of a flow process chart. As I said before, it is a more detailed chart from the OPC. It is symbolized by operation by circle, transportation arrow, inspection square, delay D, storage by upside down triangle, and it also contains the information of the distance. So here on the operation, transportation, inspection, delay, storage, you make the list of all the process that being used to make a product, and then you make you color each of the operation that is applied to each process, and then you take the straight line between the one operation to the next operation. If there is a transport, then please write down the distance. Don't forget also to mention the summary of the chart. On the summary of the chart, you need to calculate how many operation is on one in this FPC, and then how many inspection, how many transportation, and how many delay. On transportation, please calculate the total distance of the transportation, and delay also please calculate the time of the delay. Another another example of the FPC. This is a more detailed one. This is a good example of the FPC because this one provides the heading table around here, and then this is only the summary. So from this example, the summary is at the top side, while the previous example is at the bottom side. And this is for your assignment. You have to make an OPC and FPC to make a shelf. So this is the final product of the shelf. The shelf is made from wood sheets that being attached together. So this is the framework of the shelf. And then the component of the shelves are the two side walls, left and right, and one back wall here, this one. And top cover, bottom cover, and two partitions. Top cover, bottom cover, and two partitions. The raw material available to make the shelf are two sheets of wood with the dimension of the width is 50 centimeters, the thickness is 2 centimeters, while the length are 3 meters. And one sheet of wood with the dimension of the width 50 centimeters, thickness 1 centimeters, and the length is 1 meter. Based only on this picture, can you already imagine how to make the shelf based on the raw material? At least, for example, what are the first process that you have to do?
Cut the wood sheet, ma'am.
Cut the wood, and when you cut the wood, what? How? Yeah, it could be first you need to measure the wood first, then you can cut the wood, because if you directly cut the wood, then you don't know how long or how short it is that you need for your product.
How about the surface of the wood, Martina? It is ready to be used, or it should?
No, it is not ready to be used. So the surface still rough.
Before you cut it, you have to make it smooth first.
Yes. And to join all the partition, all the component, you will use a plate, the L plate that will help to connect the materials. And another supporting material that available are nails, screw, paint, any color that you want. And as for the supporting tool, you have measuring tape, manual saw, electrical saw, screwdriver, drilling gun, brush to paint, or paint sprayer, and sandpaper machine. You don't always have to use all these supporting tools. You can just use the supporting tools that you think works with your design of work. And for this assignment, you make it as a group. There will be 9 groups. 2 of the group will consist of 5 people, while the rest, which is the 7th group, will consist of 4 people. To register for a group, you can go to your eCampus. I have already made the activity to assign to a group. So there will be a group choice. So you just need to choose the group from there. And be prepared to present your work on the following week. We will try to have at least 2 teams to present your work. So please be prepared to present your work. It's also okay that if you want to directly make your presentation as your report, so the one that submitted to the eCampus is your presentation file. And as this is a group assignment, there will be a peer assessment, which means that you will assess how the other group member works. There would be the attendance, the collaboration, and also the contribution, and one more is involvement. So let's say if you're in a group discussion, probably one of the people not being there, so there would be only three of you. That means the attendance score, you can give the attendance score for that particular person to be 0 because he didn't attend the group discussion. And then for the contribution, let's say he is there, and then while you do your work, he did not do anything, so you can give the score lesser on the contribution part. One more is for the involvement. Involvement means that while you're discussing how they will share their ideas and how they also involve in the discussion in your group. So that's more or less about the peer assessment. And the deadline for this assignment would be on Tuesday at midnight, before midnight, 23:59. Okay, one more thing about the size of this is the L plate that I mentioned about, just in case some of you did not really having trouble understanding what kind of an L plate is. So this plate would be used to attach the part. So let's say there would be an L plate here and here at the bottom. And also when attaching the top cover to the frame, the bottom cover to the frame, and also the partition. And the sizing of the shelf is available at the final slide here. Any questions?
Ma'am,
Yes.
for make it the OPC, we make it using software or
Oh yeah. For the OPC, you can to make it easier for you to make the OPC, you can use the Microsoft VCO. But if you don't have the Microsoft VCO, you can also install Lucid Chart. It's not really installing because it's like the online version of VCO, but different provider. So I'm using Lucid Chart to make the one of the example. So you can use that just because I think Microsoft Visio would be too expensive to buy the original one, and if you just buy the unofficial one, I think it would be a risk of having your computer to be infected by the virus. So probably it is safer to use Lucid Chart because you can just directly get it from the G Suite Market, and it's like official from the Suite Market, just like an extension on your Google Chrome.
sorry ma'am, can you repeat the online?
I will write it down on the chat. Lucid Chart. That's the name, or yeah. Let me. Or I can. Okay, let me show you what my Lucid Chart looks like. Here. This is my Lucid Chart. Here's an example that I made. Wait a bit. Can you see the...
Yes ma'am, we can see.
Oh, wait. Yeah, this one. So this is the name of the component of the shelf, the process, and also the tools, process and tools. This is the whether it's operation or inspection, the time, the scrap percentage. And you can see this is the symbol, which is also available on the Microsoft Visio, I think, so it is very easy. Here, let's say we want to use the operation, you could just drag and drop, and then double click to rename it. O12, let's say. Okay, and how to make this the line? To make the line, you could just use an arrow first, but then you're setting it as none, and then you take one more to connect and setting this as none, and then like this, and move this to the other part. Should be this one is moving to here. Yep. It's not good. Yeah, I think you can just try it by yourself, because I also only tried by myself, not really having any formal training to use this. This is quite simple, I think. Not really hard. Any more questions? Oh, you can also, let's say, this, you can also use it while the other person uses it, so it is possible for online collaboration. Are you, can you please try go to eCampus and try to assign to one of the groups? So just in case it is not, the setting is not right. Okay, good. I see some of the group already here for, yeah, means it can be done. Any more questions? And later, please take a look of the, I will upload the file of the presentation today. And if there is any measurement that is lacking to build the shelf, please let me know, then I will inform you. Oh yeah, and one more. I mentioned about the top view, front view, and right view. To make it more clear, the top view is from this side. The right view is from that side. The front view is from this side. So the front view is the hollow one. You will see the hollow of the shelf. Any more question? Probably you already know how to read the mechanical drawing, I think. That's why I use this one to make it more understandable.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. So, please, any more question? The deadline is on Tuesday, so at least we can take a look, review what what have you done with your work and give feedback. Any more questions?
No, I think
Okay, Bu Andira ada tambahan mungkin? Masih di mute sepertinya, atau masih di mute Bu suaranya?
Okay, I think if you have no question for the theory and the assignment, any question, is it clear enough? Yes.
yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Yeah. So please make your assignment in the best of your performance, because it will be continue with the next improvement. So after you make it, we will Ma'am Atina later on will guide you to how to improve your initial OPC and your initial flow process chart. So why the summary is very important, yeah. In the summary, you will put how many numbers of transportations and what will be the duration, how many numbers of the operation and what will be the durations, yeah. Okay. Any questions? So, yeah.
For the deadline, could you extend it until Wednesday?
So, because we have to take a look into your assignment first, yeah. And please, the assignment will be, you can submit it in the PPT. So directly when we ask you to present it, you present it and you submit it in PPT. You don't have to make it in the different form, yeah, right? Because we will choose at that time, yeah. It can be 2 or 3 groups, and you have to present your result. Yeah, and we will discuss about that result. It will be the example for all of you, and based on the result or the example of the groups will be presented at the time, so you can revise your assignment. Yeah, and then after that, you come up with the improvement. Yeah, how to improve it? So you have to pick all of the material before and after, because I have been explained, yeah, maybe that condition is not in the optimum conditions, because this assignment is tricky, right? So you have to be careful. You have to be careful, yeah. Choose the best method in doing that, yeah, and so on. If you want to be more tricky, we provide you with many kinds of the tools and so on. So, but we want to make it you simple, just a little bit tricky, not very tricky. Okay. Any questions? No questions? Gak ada. Yakin Ibrahim, ketawa yang lain masih bingung tapi gak nanya. Ma'am Atina, do you see their eyes?
Yeah.
Actually,
Insyaallah aman, ma'am.
capture the confusing inside of your eyes, but no idea to us. It's okay, maybe because of this assignment is a group, ya, siapa tuh? Diko siapa?
Iya, ma'am, kan kalau buat OPC itu berarti kan ini ada 2 worksheet. Nah, itu kita berarti kayak kita kasih sebutan aja, ma'am. Kayak misalnya ini sheet A, sheet B gitu ya, ma'am. Sebelum kita measure. Karena kan ada yang buat ada yang buat itunya gitu kan.
Jelasin di depan, kalian mau starting from what? Begitu. Apa yang mau dilakukan? Kan urutannya pasti ada kan? Gak perlu disebutkan seat A, seat B sih. OPC, nanti dari OPC-mu kelihatan kamu mulai di mana, yang mana yang kamu gabung kemana.
Oke.
Gunanya OPC nggak usah diterangin, kita tahu, oh ini prosesmu nggak benar nih, oh ini prosesnya benar nih, oh ternyata bagian yang besar bergabung ke yang kecil. So we can see that is it correct or not correct. Kalian akan tahu kan which one will be a main part, mana yang bukan a main part, ya. So coba dulu deh, kan kemarin kalian masih baru lihat kan, oh OPC itu kayak gini, try to make it, you will understand about my statement. Sekarang kalian mengerti, saya bilang, oh bisa sih mem, tahu dari OPC mem, tahu, lihat OPC kalian saya langsung tahu, nah ini ngaco nih. OPC is very important, ya. Orang bagian produksi bisa mencak-mencak karena lihat OPC yang ngaco, ya. So it is a big mystery for you because you never make it, right? Now try to conduct the OPC, and then after that your eyes will be open. Oh, pantesan OPC itu bisa jadi. So OPC is a common tools. All of the people in the production floor should be understand about the OPC. Jadi kita nggak usah ngomong banyak-banyak, kita kasih OPC aja dia bisa jalan. You don't have to be explained. Enricos ya, bikinin aja OPC. Saya bilang oke, kamu benar. Dia bilang, oh Enricos kenapa aku bolak-balik? Kamu kenapa ini dulu baru ini dulu gitu. I can see from your OPC. If the people in the manufacturing area they don't try to evaluate the OPC before they start the production, bisa kacau tuh dunia. Bisa kebalik-balik prosesnya, jadinya produknya bisa sepatu bisa pakai di topi. So it really like that. Nah, and starting, if you make a wrong OPC, I make sure that you will make the wrong flow process chart because it will be developed from the OPC. Nggak apa-apa, try to make it. Justru kita mencari kesalahan biar kita tahu yang benarnya. If you make it wrong, it's good. Why? You know that you will never wrong again. You will never wrong anymore. Tapi kalau kalian bisa benar, tapi bukan kalian yang paham, you don't know why this one called as a wrong one, you don't know how to improve it. Ya, kan di kampus itu tempatnya bikin kesalahan kan? But after you go outside, don't ever do the wrong things. Because for one time, the people will don't give this job to you anymore because satu kali aja uji cobanya kalau kerja. Tapi di kampus you can make mistakes because we have to improve it, we have to revise it. So based on your mistake kan, so we can come up with the right one. Gitu ceritanya. So don't be afraid to make a mistake. Yeah, my suggestion, try to do it, try to make it. I have a method with Mem Atina. I give you a score after improvement, after we explain the best one, right, the correct one, and then you can revise it. Because our objectives is not about the score, but about your understanding. And for this one, it will be like that too. Make it for the initial one, we will discuss it. You know that, oh, I make some mistakes, and then you revise it. And we will give you a score after you revise it and submit it again. Okay or not okay? Or give you a score at the first time? Which one?
No. After revise.
Kalau udah score, kalian bangun semua. But when I ask you any question, no. Okay, so don't come into the university, it's because of the score. If you have a target, I have to understand 90% your score will be follow you. But if your target is score, it will be up and down. Yeah. So give a target that after you listen for the lectures and then you come up into yourself and try to evaluate yourself. How many percent of the information can catch up by myself? Yeah, can be catch up by me. So after that, if you think that it's only 50%, so try to read it again. Yeah. Okay, is it clear? So if actually for me, if you want to ask something about the assignment, if you determine one times and you give me times one day before for 30 minutes or around 30 minutes or sampai 1 jam lah, nanti saya keriting. So you because it takes so long for all of the subject, you want to meet me in GMAT and talk about the assignment. Ma'am, we got the problem with this one and this one, so it's okay. Tapi kalian harus kompromi dulu. So how many student will meet me? Ya berarti ada minimal requirement. No, nggak ada minimal requirement. Tapi jangan terus sekarang minta, besok minta lagi. One times only for one class. Tapi tentukan kapan. So ma'am, we want to ask you gitu ya. Kan kalau kayak gitu kan bisa ikut bareng-bareng, yang nanya kan kita ikut juga kebagian kan. Oh dia nanya saya jadi tahu. It can be like that. Ya, tapi kasih tahu 1 hari sebelumnya and you gather, kasih tahu yang lain, kita mau tanya nih, kalian mau nggak gitu, mau sekalian ini nggak, nanya nggak. I think that it will be efficient for me to, instead of I try to ask you one by one through the WA, through the WhatsApp. Ya, I apply this method to the PDD. Mana orang yang PDD di sini? Kayaknya ada juga yang PDD di kelas ini. Aku, so, nggak ada ya. Jai, what is your batch? Oh, Jai udah ketuaan nih. So,
ma'am, 2016, ma'am.
not the batch. There are some students here, but I try to provide my times because. Especially for the PDD subject, it is very special subject. It needs for the intensive communication with the students. Yeah, so it takes until including the regular schedule, it takes until 7 years a day to discuss about the product. Ya, makanya kalian jangan minta lebih dari 30 menit. Saya keriting. But it's okay ya if you need time set the regular schedule. Oke, Memetina di fitting lagi, dia kelasnya banyak, beda-beda lagi subjeknya. Ya, kalau yang muda-muda tuh gitu, beda subjek boleh. Oke, any questions? Are you sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Insyaallah, ma'am.
turn on your camera for the rest of people who doesn't turn on the camera. I will take a complete picture one times only. Yang belum sisiran, please sisiran pakai jari gitu. Oke.
Bilah ganteng.
Are you ready?
No. Yes.
Prima tuh muka bantal tuh dia.